Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you the difference between the RS setup I've got on the front and what you would normally get on a normal ST facelift, or pre-facelift for that matter as well, because I'm pretty sure they're both the same, other than like headlights and bumpers and little bits. The amount of messages I keep getting on what drive shafts do I run on the car is ridiculous. I mean, I've gone through all different types of ST drive shafts, from OEMs to apparently upgraded ones to the cheapest ones you can buy, and every single ST one I seem to have, they're good for about 1,000 miles with big power anyway, and then that's it. They're ruined. You can't launch the car. You can't really do anything with them. They just don't last. I mean, you might get lucky and some will last you, I don't know, a year or so, but it all comes down to luck and things like that. But what I do know is with the RS ones, they are so much stronger. It is ridiculous. They are a little bit more expensive, and obviously there is a lot of modifications you have to do to adapt it to RS stuff. But this is what I basically want to go over, because there's not a lot of people that talk about the difference between ST and RS. They just say RS swap, and then it makes you sort of have to try and guess what's been done. But I'll go over like a brief sort of thing of what I've done with RS and what I've noticed the difference has been and what has changed, and people might like and might not, because RS stuff does drive a lot different to ST stuff, which you wouldn't think these little modifications would make that much difference, but trust me, it is completely different car. So I've got the car jacked up at the minute. I'll go over all the underneath stuff and show you bit by bit and sections what is different to ST and what is RS stuff. So we'll get straight into it. So I thought this would be the best place to start. The first main difference between ST and RS are these with knuckles that are called Revo knuckles. They help with grip and things like that, and help with a wheel spin. From what I've been told, they do work in a sort of ball bearing type way. I don't really know how to explain it, but I know I did get these obviously all refurbished and new bearings and whatnot put into it. The next thing is the coilovers. The RS, you have to buy RS coilovers for this, because they bolt differently to what ST ones do. The next difference is brake lines. They are slightly longer. Then we move on to ABS sensors. The cable for this is slightly longer than what an ST one would be, followed by these steering rack tie rod ends. These are longer than ST ones, so you can retain the same steering rack, but you just have to swap out these little tie rod ends, or arms, whatever you want to call them. So they're just slightly longer, but so you can reuse the original ST steering rack, and there is something else which I'll get on when I'm under the car, as well as the drive shafts, and these are the all-important main difference thing to ST and RS. These drive shafts, they're actually, I think they're shorter than ST because of the Revo knuckle, bringing them closer to the car, because the Revo knuckle is a lot bigger than a normal ST hub. So I think they're actually shorter, and they are slightly thicker. There's not a lot in it, but some reason that tiny bit more thickness makes a massive difference between them snapping and not. And to be honest, a lot of the time it's not actually the bars, because on other cars, I think like Civics and things like that, they actually snap the shaft itself, but in STs and stuff, they actually normally break on this joint here. RS ones just seem to cope with it so far. The next thing are brakes. If you noticed when you look at big brake kits, they'll say either RS or ST, and it's down to the way it bolts onto, again, the Revo knuckles and not Revo knuckles. They're another difference that you would have to change. The anti-roll bar is another one. The anti-roll bar on an ST is a lot shorter than what an RS one is. So they go a lot, RS one's a lot wider. So you'd have to change that, whether it be original one. I've got white line anti-roll bars on mine. They do come with these little spaces as well that you can add to them. The subframe itself is actually the exact same to ST and RS, and it goes for the rear subframe as well. They're exactly the same. The only difference that you do on a subframe are these bushes here, and that's how a lot of people can tell if you're running RS gear or not, because these bushes just space it off. So on an ST, this would bolt up pretty flush to the body of the car, whereas RS ones, for some reason, they drop it down slightly. They just take it away from the body a little bit, which then you would have to get these little brackets for the subframe as well, because the ST ones, they're actually straight, whereas RS ones have a slight curve in them to make up that difference from that gap and what you've got. So they're another little thing that you wouldn't really know until you get into it. It goes for the same for the top ones here. Again, you have the little spacer away. Normally this would butt up nice and tight on an ST, but yeah, some reason it brings it down, whether it's to help with the steering arms and the drive shafts being correct or not in the right place, I don't really know. The next part you would have to change is the gearbox torque mount down here. So the actual torque mount itself that you'd buy from like AirTech and things like that, which I've got here, is the exact same to an ST and an RS. The only difference is this bracket here. I think this, again, I'm pretty sure this drops down slightly compared to an ST one. So ST one would then have the engine tilted slightly if you kept it. So that's why you need an RS gearbox torque mount bracket, whatever you want to call that. Again, RS gearbox, that is another thing you have to change, because the way the drive shaft goes in, the splines, because this, like I say, is slightly thicker than what an ST one would be, they're different, the splines inside it, so that's why you have to buy the RS box to go with the drive shafts. The next thing is this steering rack rubber seal. So it goes on top, so you got your steering rack here, but that black rubber seal that you see there that goes to the body of the car, RS ones are actually a lot thicker. So what you would notice is when you've dropped the subframe down, because the steering rack bolts straight onto the subframe, it actually pulls away from the body of the car there, and you'll realise that you'll get a gap just like in your pedals when you're inside. There'll gap there, which then obviously water and everything like that can get through. So that is another crucial thing that you'd have to change, is that black rubber up there. You'd have to put that to an RS one from your ST. And that's pretty much about it. As for things on top of the engine, so like things in your engine bay and things like that, there's not really any difference, to be honest. Some people might say about RS ABS modules, because a lot of them say that the ABS modules on them, they react very differently to what an ST one would be, as for like traction control and that sort of thing, when it comes to like mapping and Cyvex and that stuff. But I've got an original ST one on here, and it is exactly the same when you map it up to what an RS one would be. I know there's a lot of people that say it makes a difference. I mean, personally, I haven't tested it. I haven't tried an RS one to see the difference between ST and RS. But from what I've heard, that a lot of people that have had the difference, they say it doesn't really matter. Like, I think it might make a difference, but it's very, very minimal. Not that something you'll really notice. Yeah, so I thought this video, I just wanted to do a quick, brief talk around of the RS stuff on the front, because as we know, I've still got the ST stuff on the back. It has all been refurbished, but it's original ST stuff on the back. I just wanted the RS stuff on the front, literally just so I can launch the car. Because I had all this mapped before when it was 641 horsepower, my first setup. And the thing that really annoyed me is that I was always going through drive shafts and I couldn't launch the car. I had launch control and everything like that mapped onto it, but you just can't use it. And then every time I took the car out, it's always in the back of your mind. Is it going to snap a drive shaft today, or what's going to go wrong with, you know, that sort of setup? Whereas now, I mean, you still obviously get worried, like anybody, I think, no matter who you are. If you've built a car, you get worried of something going wrong when you take it out. But if you can minimize things that you're worrying about on the car, then surely that's just a good sign. And personally, I'd say the RS stuff is the best thing I've done to this car so far, because it's just something simple that you can buy all the parts still, all brand new, or a lot of people now buy them second hand. There's a lot of RS reps out there that you can buy all this stuff for about half the price of what I've paid for it. Again, it's completely up to you. Some people like new stuff like me. Personally, I'd rather have new stuff or have it refurbished before I put it on the car. Other people, they don't really care. I mean, it does the same job at the end of the day if it's new or old. Personally, I'd say it comes down to personal preference on what you want. So I hope that has cleared up a lot of questions that you guys had for the drive shafts and the running gear that I've got on the front of the car, because I know I must get probably 4 or 5 messages daily about the RS stuff on the car. So either have I got, you know, a made up fancy drive shafts for it, or is it just genuine RS? And then as soon as I say it's RS, they go, what is into it? Which I don't blame them. I was the same when I done this. I was asking all different people that have done it to try and, like, you know, get some advice, get some help. Obviously, I don't mind giving out. I just thought I'd do a video on it. At least people can see what I'm talking about, and it'll make a lot more sense rather than me just writing you a big list of what's been done and then you guys not having a clue if it's the right thing or not. And I've got a couple of exciting things coming up for the car. Some modifications and different bits and pieces. Some of them will be before I take this car on like a little holiday car show thing that we do every year. It's called the Isle of Wight Takeover. I'm sure a lot of you that watch have heard of it. Any sort of Ford people, even though they let any car in there now, It used to be just a Ford show. But yeah, this will be going to Isle of Wight Takeover this year. That's only in a month or so. But if any of you are interested in wanting to see, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a vlogging sort of style video, me with all my mates, they've all got different cars, so don't worry if the focus isn't for you and you just watch this purely because you just like modified cars, then all my mates have got completely different cars. I mean, some of us have got Focuses, but there's not as many. There's a variety of different cars. So if any of you would like to see a vlog type style video, I'll be happy to make a YouTube video for you guys when I'm over there, just so you can see what we get up to, see a bit of the show, I guess I could put in there, and different bits and pieces, and there'll be a lot of driving videos and stuff of me and my mates' cars and all that sort of stuff. But if you guys just leave it in the comments if there's something that you guys would be interested in seeing, a bit more of a sort of vloggy type style video, because again, there's bound to be something to go wrong. It'll be funny and it's always a laugh because none of us take any of this stuff serious. It's just a car at the end of the day. And it's all a bit of fun. That's all it's built for. But I hope this has made it a lot easier for you guys. And thank you for watching this video and for all the support you've done through the previous videos. And I'll catch you guys on the next one, hopefully with a interior mod. Might as well show the lads a sneak peek what's coming up for the rear subframe. That's all you're getting at the minute.
It's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.